Hello, Professor Moish. My name is Abdullah Luqman, and for my management of the enterprise assignment number 3, I chose my topic as SAP. So firstly, what is SAP? SAP is a type of ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning System, and it is a multi-billion-dollar industry as well as being one of the biggest softwares in the world. So SAP was started in 1972. It's a German company and it was started by 5 German entrepreneurs. In 1992, SAP became a global partner, working with subsidiaries and development centers all across the world. Then, in 2009, SAP reached out to 3 new technologies. First was the cloud, then mobile technologies, and then database technologies. And then in 2011, SAP released a version of SAP called SAP HANA. And this was something that allowed processes that prior to the release of SAP HANA took days or even weeks to run. But with this new release of SAP HANA, those same processes could be ran in just moments, in just seconds. And then in 2015, SAP released a version of SAP which ran completely on SAP HANA. Current day, SAP has over 269 million cloud users and is grossing tens of billions of dollars on just the cloud alone. And it is one of the biggest softwares in the world and by far the biggest ERP system in the world. SAP also has 57 data centers that it operates in 15 countries across the world. SAP has now went from in 1972 not being very known to now 50 plus years later. SAP is a staple for ERP systems as a whole, and there are other ERP systems as well, such as PeopleSoft and other ERP systems. But there is no doubt that out of all those ERP systems, SAP is the biggest and most successful ERP system in the world. So now that we know what SAP is, we have to wonder, what is SAP? What allows it to be such a successful company? What's the reason that it generates tens of billions of dollars? What allows it to be one of the biggest softwares in the world? What is SAP? So SAP is the Enterprise Resource Planning System, as I mentioned before. But what is an ERP to begin with? An ERP is something that allows a business to take all the aspects of the business and integrate it and connect it in one software and manage it and customize it to its liking completely. SAP is such a thing where a business can take it and customize it to fit the business, and 2 different industries that have nothing to do with each other, for example, maybe healthcare and maybe automotive, 2 completely separate businesses that have nothing to do with each other, they can both take SAP and customize it to their specific likings and run it to their specific needs. So SAP connects all the different aspects of a business, all the different departments of a business, marketing, financing, even stuff like warehousing, and all the other departments in a business in one software. SAP is not just limited to being used by one industry, as I mentioned before. There's so many industries that can use SAP. Just to list a few off the top of my head, there's banking, there's agribusinesses, there's automotive businesses, there's cargo and shipping businesses, there's fashion businesses, and engineering businesses, security businesses, healthcare and governmental businesses, mill product and mining and oil, gas and energy businesses, and the list goes on. There's space in SAP for any type of department and any type of so now business. That we know what SAP is and what SAP does, we have to wonder, why use SAP? What makes SAP easier to use than, let's just say, a regular or a traditional business module? And to see that, we have to look at a traditional business module. And when we look at it, we see that there's not very good data management. So what I mean by that is that each business function will store its own operational data in a separate database. And there's 2 big issues with this. The first is that if I'm a different department and I need information from a different department, I have to log into their database. I have to go into a separate database just to get that information. And the other issue is the cost of managing 10 to 15 different databases. It starts becoming a lot. So SAP, everything is in one software. You don't have 10 to 15 different databases, 10 to 15 different softwares that you have to use for each individual department. You have one software that you can use for each department, that each department is put into that one software, it's integrated, it's connected into that software, and this way different departments can have real-time updates for the information from the data across the business. So lastly, what type of businesses use SAP? Well, SAP has over 440,000 clients across 100 countries, more than 100 countries. So what type of businesses use SAP? Well, every single business needs what SAP can provide, needs that back end of IT, needs that logistics, needs that accounting, needs all of their business software integrated and customized to their liking, put into one software. So what type of businesses use SAP? Every single business uses SAP or some type of ERP. And to put that into perspective, over 77% of the world's transaction revenue has touched SAP. That is all for my assignment, Management of the Enterprise, assignment number 3. My name is Abdullah Luqman.